So could you please put your hands together? Huge round of applause for Rorus from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Just gonna put this down real quick.
Props.
Yeah, we got props. All right, how's it going, everybody? My name's Kyle Henson from Rorus, and we make very simple, easy-to-use water filters. So 8,000 people die every single day from drinking contaminated water. And usually in the developed world, we think that that's because people in the developing world can't afford clean water tech. And while that's part of the story, it's not the whole picture. If you take a plastic water bottle filled with water and you leave it in the sun for 6 hours, you actually end up with water that's biologically safe to drink. But people don't do this, and people still die because it's super inconvenient. And when we deploy technology like chlorine tablets to alleviate this inconvenience, they're misused because they're not designed to work across language and culture barriers. Chlorine tablets actually have a 50% recontamination rate. Technology that works in the lab often fails in the field. And our solution to that problem is to make water filters that are simple enough for everybody to use every day. And that's a picture of a 5-year-old kid who we met on our pilots in India, and he's been using our filters ever since from the days we went there in February till now. Usability is safety when it comes to water filters. You don't deploy a water tech that doesn't work. People just misuse water tech that does work because it's too complicated. The way that we alleviate this problem is we have filters that work differently from other filters. Most filters work by taking dirty water, forcing it through a membrane with really tiny holes, and hopefully the pathogens and other things you're trying to remove from the water are caught on one side of the membrane. Our filter has holes that are about 100 times the size of those competitors, and the filter media itself is ionically charged. So as water passes through, it's attracted to the filter and removed from the water. This gives us a really fast flow rate. It works kind of like a drinking fountain in the US, and to demonstrate how confident I am in the technology, I had 25 people spit in here before I came on stage. Got a glass of water, and a drink in front of you. Cheers.
No, don't do it.
I've used this drink from a toilet. It's cool. So,
Patty, what happens if he collapses over the next 2 minutes?
I have no idea. I don't know what to do.
Well, looks like we've got some technical issues. But, see, can that come up soon? Hard maybe.
Oh.
Uh-oh. All right, well, anyway, I'm just gonna ad-lib it for you guys.
The filter's better, the holes are bigger, it's ionically charged.
Yeah.
Drank the spit, this is pretty awesome.
Yes, I did just drink some spit. We're doing good. So basically, anyway, I forget exactly what was next, so I'm just gonna go a little out of order.
No one knows.
Essentially, a couple highlights. Some of our team members. I was a prior startup co-founder, and I was the CFO of a nonprofit before joining Rorus. Our CEO, Corinne Clinch, couldn't be here because she has laryngitis, unfortunately. But she spent the last 5 years in and out of the developing world watching those problems that I just talked to you about, where filter tech fails in the field but works in the lab. She watched that happen, and she herself got Giardia, thought there had to be a better way. Our chief microbiologist spent 34 years as the city of Pittsburgh's chief microbiologist, so if you ever visited Pittsburgh and drank clean water, he's the reason why. We're commercializing in the $5.5 billion Indian household water filtration market, and that market's expected to double over the next 15 years. Our newest team member, Dr. Rao, has spent 25 years, he's based in Bangalore, working for companies like Eureka Forbes and other great A-listers to take water tech from the lab to the field. I know there was other stuff. Oh, all right, so our cost of goods picture, we're able to sell this product at a 60% margin, 60, and still deliver clean drinking water to the Indian people at about half the cost per liter that they're used to paying right now. And one of the coolest things I think that I can tell you is that we're launching a crowd equity funding campaign. So anyone starting May 16th can invest as little as $100 in Rorus and get common stock just like the rest of us have. Super cool. If you want to learn more, check us out at wefunder.com/Rorus. And I remembered one more thing that was supposed to be a little earlier in the slides. What we're selling is a cartridge. There's a great picture of it in the deck, but that's the cartridge that's behind the tap right here. And that can turn anything that can carry water into a really simple, really comprehensive water filter, whether it's our backpack that we make and sell or locally available buckets like you saw with that 5-year-old kid. That's most of what I had to say, a little out of order. Thanks for bearing with me.
Woo!
Woo! Appreciate it.
You killed it without the slides.
Yeah, well done.
I tried. It was a little out of order, but...
Can I just ask
Life.
one question?
Please.
Your sick CTO, she didn't get sick from drinking the water, right?
No, laryngitis actually isn't waterborne as far as I know. Don't quote me on that. But
I
I'm pretty
appreciate your
sure.
candor.
No, I think her boyfriend's to blame. But
You described a pretty diverse team. You know, as diversity is a common topic in our industry right now, both on the investing side and the founding side, do you think this is a product that benefits specifically from having diverse team members with diverse backgrounds and diverse experience in the field?
Yes, absolutely. So the three of us, except for Dr. J, went to Carnegie Mellon. That's where we all met. I studied business. I do have experience founding another company. Corinne really brings the field experience, the field work that kind of leads to this design. And Uriel is like the coolest dude that words can't do justice. His room is there's 3 industrial sewing machines along one wall, a whole bunch of like soft goods crafting materials along another wall, and a workbench on the third wall. And I went in, and I was like, wait, where do you sleep? And he pulls a curtain out from under the workbench, and his mattress is down there. He's built 2 suits of armor, I think like 8 boats, 2 cars, and that's in high school. So, I mean, he's like the coolest prototyper.
Well, those could be ancillary product opportunities for you guys.
Yeah, he designed the first prototype for this. Seriously, we got feedback from an NGO, and he designed this first prototype within 6 hours.
So you're selling, your first market is international, global, in the field to NGOs. Can you talk a little bit about the size of that market and also the sales process? Is it,
Sure.
Is it quick?
Yeah, so we are selling to NGOs and also direct to consumer in India, and that's what that consultant I mentioned is really helping us with. The NGO market is huge. I mentioned $5.5 billion in India alone, and that's just what the Indian people spend. I think it's another billion when you factor in NGOs, and again, that's all just in India. The total size of this water market is $14 billion, and our technology, I mean, water's everywhere, right? So when you factor in military, government, outdoor recreation in the first world, when you factor in those markets, we're talking at least $18 billion of addressable market with this technology. And sales process. Basically, the consultants are helping us get channel partners. We're going to be working with distributors in India. We have relationships with a lot of NGOs. We actually did that pilot that you saw some pictures from before the tech failed me. We did that with a group called the Emmanuel Hospital Association, and they're really well connected in India as well on the NGO side. So they're really both helping us get to market.
How's your patent portfolio? Have you filed for IP?
Yeah, so we're keeping the technology trade secret because we're really internationally focused. So if you publish this as a patent in the US, you're saying, hey world, that isn't the US, copy this. And other than that, though, everything you can see about this bag is patentable. So we've got 2 utility patents filed, and I think we're working on 4 more.
Great. Do you feel proud of your work?
Very, yeah. I mean, like I said, that kid is drinking from our filters every day, and along with 50 other people in a village where we did our pilots.
Right on. I think that matters more than anything.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Good stuff.
Well done.
Thanks for bearing with me throughout the technical difficulties.